Good evening and welcome back to the Perspective Podcast, episode number 7, part 2 with Counselor Chico. On this half of the pod, me and Chico, we discussed going into 2020, the expectations, living and surviving the COVID era. We discussed social injustice, the murders of Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Alton Sterling, amongst others here in America. What does slavery reparations look like for us? Future 106 Radio, as he has his show, Chico's Dose of Reality, and he discussed other festivities that Future 106 does for the city of Alexandria, Louisiana. And we also got into some politics and voting, the importance of voting. And so, without further ado, this is part 2 to Counselor Chico, episode 7. Enjoy.
Alright, and then so shifting gears into this other part of the show here. So going into 2020, what was your thought process? Like moving into a new decade, new things are just kind of spawning. We're 100% here in the digital age now. What was your train of thought here moving into the new decade?
The new decade, my train of thought was to change the way I was thinking, dating wise. I was at a point where I wanted to be like, it's that time, nigga 38 now.
Yeah.
So it's time to find your one person that you gonna make your woman, your wife, your
spouse, your partner.
Your partner. To build a legacy with. Because you can build your legacy by yourself, but when you build a legacy with two minds together, makes it a bigger legacy. Yeah. So, that's what my mindset was on at that present moment in time. It still is. But, the other thing is that I wanted to excel in the podcast realm, as well as, think about other business ventures that I wanted to indulge in to better myself, better my livelihood, better my family. So that's where my mindset is still at. Just 2020 COVID-19 didn't fucked up, some shit, but hey, but it don't stop no party. Like my boy Jay Rich would say, it don't stop no show.
Yes,
so you got to keep on going. You got to keep on pushing. So
God bless you, Rich.
So it's I've been doing a lot of research in a business venture that I really want to think about doing, but also pushing forward to basically find that person that I hate to say cliche and sound like Dr. Evil. You complete me. But I need somebody that's gonna compliment me, not be me, but compliment me.
Yeah.
And that's my motivation right now in 2020 is those 3 areas. So that's where I am in 2020. So shout out to 2021 because we're going to keep it going.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And so, late last year, we saw the COVID, wave moving from the other side of the world to, the Middle East, and then to Europe, and then it made it overseas, and it made it to America, and then it made it to South America, and it's definitely global now, right?
Yeah.
And, looking at it on the news, and because I was watching before it, became a thing here in America, and I didn't think that we would be here in America, but hey, look at administration, at least that's supposed to be the nation. But here we are. Administration they don't do their job correctly, and it's caused a lot of death. A lot of people have lost, not just people, but their livelihood, their homes, just their everyday peace, and that's changed everything how we do. From it's the club life is not even just the club life, just social life in general. You have to be very, very careful about how we go about things. You know what I'm saying? And and who would have ever thought that we would be walking around with face masks on a daily basis? You know what I mean? Like inside, outside. I'm not sure about anybody else, but I'm one of those people that have to be careful because I have a history of asthma. I've, had that my whole life. So anytime people start saying things like air quality and you gotta that COVID deals with it slows your breathing and it causes breathing problems, that's definitely a cause for pause for me. Because I don't know about you or any of the listeners, but I've been on the brink of death a couple times due to asthma attacks. So I've been there, and both of those have been on the basketball floor, but I've been there twice. I never want to go through that again if I have anything to do, if I can prevent it. Trust me, I will. But how do you think that things will be going forward from social life to just everything overall, social life, and just when do you think that we're gonna get up out of this?
Okay. In the famous words of your uncle, welcome to the new normal. This is going to be the new normal. I just want people to realize that this is the new normal. So either you accept it and go forward, or you stay behind and you continue to get sick and you continue to get other people sick and you keep the trend, keep on going. Until people accept the fact that, we're going to have to change the way we live our life. We are.
Yeah.
A lot of people ain't, cause I know you used to watch me and your brother, play basketball and different stuff. And we used to drink behind each other through the water hose and all a water bottle or a Gatorade bottle, yada, yada, no backwash. That's what we always used to say. But ain't nobody doing that no more. Ain't nobody about to drink behind nobody else again.
Yeah, that's a wrap. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap now. So that lifestyle is going to change. I know a lot of people, they go to clubs, they put their drinks down and they turn their backs on it, yada, yada. I bet they ain't going to drink that some bitch no more. Or now you going to pick it up no more.
That motherfucker is over with.
That's a wrap.
And you shouldn't have been people shouldn't have been doing that in the first place because it's mad creeps out here. It's a bunch of creeps out here in the world.
Exactly. So it's about to get worse, but I think we can get out of this situation. We can, but it's going to take a United States team effort to get it done. And the only way you can get it done is if you cooperate, you do what they ask you to do. I know a lot of people say if you don't want to wear a mask, don't wear no mask. Yada yada. Wear a damn mask. It's not gonna kill you. It's not. And I'm mad at the fact that some people are giving some people loopholes to not wear a mask. No offense, cousin. One is y'all. Ones with asthma don't have to wear a mask. I don't agree with that. So, and I think because they're giving loopholes and stuff like that, that's giving people a reason not to wear masks, not to take precautions. And the other thing is this, because he ain't gonna do it, but I'm gonna just say it out loud. If 45 or the government would just shut down,
yes,
all travel bans across state lines for 14 days. If they just do it for 14 days or 21 days, I guarantee the numbers would go down.
Preach.
If you just stop people from crossing state lines. The reason why it was passed around in the United States because people were traveling and did not know that they had things going on in their bodies. So they've been all over the United States, different areas, and it trickled to different states, and it attacked the United States. So I want people to understand if your governors are, by the grace of God, Trump say, cancel all travel ban across state lines for 14 to 21 days, and let's just see if the numbers go down. If the numbers go down, then we know what the problem is. You're allowing people to travel in cars, airplane, and go to these infected areas and not take. I'm not going to say not take precautions. They may have taken precautions, but not as well as they should have.
Yeah.
And they come back to their home and infect other people.
Thanks.
And not know it. So it's going to take a group effort. It's going to take the government and the states to take two steps forward to make sure that this happens. But you have governors and you have presidents and you have elected officials that are so scared, and I don't understand, so scared of the economy just crashing.
Yeah.
But you make your own money. I don't get that. But anyway,
that's a whole deeper conversation. Some people may not understand that part.
And you burn old money every 2 years. Why burn it?
Yeah.
I don't get it. But I'm just saying, that's just me, and I'm just a little peasant. But anyway,
but that's a good point though. You know what I'm saying? Like about people just cutting down on traveling. By the way, and this is just a side note. Personally, I enjoyed those shut down gas prices.
Yeah, I'm still enjoying it. Shit, it has been forever since it's been $1.79 somewhere. I like, oh Lord.
Like, let me pull over right now.
You don't have to make no life decision at the gas station no more.
Thanks. Like, do I need to eat today, or do I need gas to get to office?
No, I can eat and get gas.
Right.
Don't let me go to Buc-ee's. Oh boy, I'm about to eat and get gas.
Like the real Buc-ee's, you know, the real Buc-ee's. Some people may have seen like the Buc-ee's A-, but there is the real Buc-ee's, and ladies and gentlemen, if you have never been up to a Buc-ee's ever in your life, it is a place like no other. Fuck around and go to a Buc-ee's on like a holiday weekend, like Memorial Day, Labor Day, just go. How about that? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can just go. It'll turn into a full episode.
It will, because I tell you one thing. When I met Buc-ee's, I had to go to the bathroom really bad. When I say Buc-ee's got the cleanest bathroom and I have ever seen to be a community bathroom, I swear, you feel like you was at home. Like, oh boy, this is good. This is good. It just felt comfortable.
Facts.
Some buckets got TVs in their damn stall.
Oh,
I'm
man.
just saying.
Man, it's one on what is that? That's 45 North headed to Dallas, and I think that's right above. It might be Huntsville or it's a little after Huntsville, but dog, that Buc-ee's is like Buc-ee's on steroids. Like it's all kind of TVs all over the place. In the bathroom, it's clean, and for the people that's never experienced social life, nightlife out here in Houston, there are butlers and janitors in the bathroom always, right? And that's in the club. There are butlers and janitors around the clock inside of Buc-ee's that are cleaning things, and this is pre-COVID. They are cleaning things. They are handing you towels. They are pumping the soap for you, so you don't have to pump the soap for you. Like, it's a full experience. Like, it's a full experience whenever you go to Buc-ee's. So, it's definitely Buc-ee's is an experiment, and dear God, there's no way that you can social distance in Buc-ee's now that I think about it. Yeah, going back to your point about traveling, like that is a good point. You know, as soon as the borders were open from Texas to Louisiana, it was a flurry of people on from Instagram to Twitter to Snap.
I ain't gonna lie. I was just about to pack my bags and come visit y'all. Until I saw them numbers, I'm like, whoa, they got a fight. I ain't going over there.
Cause listen, I still haven't. Well, I lied. I did a couple of things, man. I've been a couple places, but man, our cases are still spiking and going up and just moving in the wrong direction. And I appreciate the mayor. He's Mayor Turner. He's doing what he can to encourage people to social distance, wear your masks, to wash your hands, all standard things, and that we should be doing. And side note, I don't know why I never thought about this before, but I should have, or we should have, like, you know those little towels that we have at the, I'm not gonna say that because that's probably like $1 trillion idea. I'm not gonna say that on the mic. I'll save that for later. I'll save that for later. And so, you know, we go into 2020. We see COVID is on the way. COVID happens, and then we have the murder of George Floyd that happened on camera. And where we grew up, racism is a thing of it's natural. Like we see people walk around with Confederate belt buckles, Confederate jackets, Confederate rebel symbols on their vehicles. Flags are flown proudly in all throughout the year, 365 days of the year. I've seen in some cases where the rebel flag is put above the American flag. And so for the people that are mad about the American flag outrage, please have that same energy towards those people too. And so George Floyd, the murder of George Floyd happens. The murder of Breonna Taylor happens. The murder of Ahmaud Arbery happens while he's jogging. And we're familiar with the Alton Sterling murder in Baton Rouge because we're natives of Louisiana.
Yeah.
And we're familiar with Gina 6. That goes back. I believe that was 08, if my memory serves correct. 07, 08.
It was 07, right before Obama.
Yeah. And so you have all those episodes. And so how do you go about spreading social justice or having those difficult conversations with people that don't have the same skin color as us, or just people that are not Black or Latino or Middle Eastern descent or Asian descent, just if you're not white, how do you go about explaining those things to white people that do not understand it?
Well, first and foremost, I have not had the opportunity to sit down and really have a heart-to-heart with with a Caucasian about these injustices.
Mm-hmm.
When I did, when Alton Sterling situation,
Rest in peace.
the person that I was talking to about that, which was a Caucasian, did not see it the way I interpreted it. The reason being is because, okay, I said this on my podcast.
Speak on it. There you go. Speak on it.
When I was growing up, and that was a while back. Anyway, when I was growing up, we looked at the police officers as a safe haven. We looked at them as protectors. We looked at them as sometimes as role models.
Yeah.
I remember when I was growing up that, you had DARE, but you also with DARE, you had lock-ins with, police officers that mentor, young men and sometimes young women. I can't remember if the girls was with us all the time or not, but they would mentor us and, talk to us about drugs, talk to us about bullying, talk to us about making right choices, talk to us about things that you want to accomplish or be when you grow up, yada yada. And what do you do when this situation happens? That situation happens. Learning the ins and outs of calling 911 to help somebody. Those were the days when cops were protecting and serving. Nowadays, you have some officers, I'm not going to say all, you have some officers that are deciding when to protect and when to serve.
Facts.
When you take an oath, you taking the oath to protect and serve a community that trusts you and funded you and also have certified you as a man or a woman of law. And we are trusting you to protect us and to serve our community to the best of your capabilities. Now, I said all this to say this about my conversation with a guy I chose to talk to about Alton Sterling situation. His rebuttal, and it's always been a rebuttal to all Caucasians in situations like this, is, and this was his exact word, Chris, why he just didn't leave. I said, excuse me?
Oh my God.
Why he just didn't leave? They called the cops. He should have left, and the situation would have been over with. I said, okay. But let me let you in on something. He was there, but the person that called the cops lied on him and said he had this, and this, and other. And when they come to find out that he didn't have those things and was not doing those things, it escalated to a shooting, which took that man's life off of hearsay.
There you go.
And never could find a gun on him. The first thing that they said was, he's reaching for a gun. The man was trying to live. And that's what he was trying to do, basically. Because I'm about to get upset about that conversation again. But anyway, and until the opposite race are willing to understand and put themselves in our shoes as African Americans of everyday life. Because I've never, and correct me if I'm wrong, look, I've never been pulled over to be told that I was driving correctly and thank you for being a great citizen.
I've been pulled over and searched for a lot less.
I have been pulled over. I've been put on a curve. Yep. I have been handcuffed. I've been searched. I've been tased before.
Yeah. I've been pepper sprayed.
So it's bad. And the first thing that they always want to reach for is, I was scared for my life. So I'm gonna put a metaphor out, okay? If you were scared for your life, how you think black folks feel when you take them out their cars? In today's society, the way things are going right now, why y'all think black people are recording every time they get pulled over now? Is because we are scared for our lives at all times.
All times. Anytime we step out the house, shit, you don't even have to leave the house no more.
It has come to everybody's attention now because of George Floyd and Breonna Taylor and
Ahmaud Arbery, Eric Garner. We can go on and on.
On and on.
Trayvon Martin.
And don't even start about Trayvon Martin because that little that shot. He's signing Skittles bags as autographs. But anyway,
Florida boys should have handled that by now. But we don't condone violence.
No, we don't. Even though they think we are aggressors, we are always the aggressor.
Black people have always been like the forgiving people, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we have.
They have been. They have been. But now it is the time where black folks are tired of being terrified and tired of being pulled over for no reason.
Antagonized, everything.
And it's coming off wrong because of the frustration. And they end up, getting in more trouble or sometimes death. If we can come to a neutral ground and to answer your question about how do you go about conversation with the opposite race, is basically you got to pick the person's mind and basically flip it on them to get them to realize what we have always realized. Is basically get them to put themselves in those shoes and put their child in that shoe. Because I guarantee that facial expression is going to change once you say their child's name and he was shot and killed by a police officer for grabbing his wallet, for grabbing his cell phone, for
grabbing his license. Shit, you can be sitting in the vehicle with your daughter, your wife, just like the brother and the other brother in Minnesota that was murdered.
So it's going to have to be a round table discussion for them to understand. To go off of what you said, the rebel flag and all these rebel statues and everything like that, they get so mad about it because that's history. Okay, I get that. I get that, but we don't celebrate losers.
Let's talk about it.
I have never seen a Super Bowl where they celebrated the winners and losers. I've seen them celebrate the winners every time. The World Series. Houston Astros won. I don't see the second runner-ups in the on the field jumping up, getting the confetti in their hair and celebrating and crying. Or they might be crying because they lost. But if that was the fact, that's why you want it there. Why we don't study Black history in schools other than February?
And to add on to that point, that's a great point right there. That, besides the fact that February is the shortest month in the year, besides that, that part, right? Real Black history is not taught. Like, who created, washing machines? Just using examples. Who created the wrench? And why do they call it the monkey wrench? For those of you that do not know, go look up who created the wrench, and then I want you to put 2 and 2 together and figure out why they call it a monkey wrench. And just things of that nature, like real history. And it don't even just have to be, of course it's Black history, but history as it's really told. Let's speak the truth,
Piggyback off of what you said, I guarantee people don't realize who invented the first phone, who invented the caution light and the traffic light. It's different stuff that you don't know and you take for granted. Because the cell phone in your hand would not exist if it was not for that brother that created the phone. If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up Bell South. That was owned by Black folks. Anyway,
even whenever I believe the lady that helped NASA go into space, she was a numbers lady. She helped when the ships go up, one of the rocket ships go up. A Black woman helped with, I believe, LASIK eye surgery, if I'm correct.
Yep.
The list goes on. You know what I'm saying? Like, the list goes on with
your cardiovascular surgeons. You couldn't do a heart transplant without an assistant Black surgeon that was on side of the Caucasian.
Yep.
So I want y'all to realize, it's a lot of history in Blacks. It's a lot of history in whites. It's a lot of history in Hispanics. It's a lot of history in everybody, in every race. But we don't discuss it. Why? It's because they don't want to. But you have American history classes that don't discuss everything. You have Louisiana history that don't discuss everything. It's just, if you're going to use a textbook, go through everything. Don't skip over chapters because you don't want to discuss those chapters. And we wouldn't have a problem with our Confederate flag if it didn't remind us of the past. And if that was the fact, if we all want everything back to where it was, then we all would go back to where we came from, because we was not on United States ground. There was only Indians on United States ground. You need to go back to England, and we need to go back to Africa.
Yeah.
So, it's deep.
It's deep.
So
even down to some of the Native American tribes that were in on slavery too, and that's another part that it's another hidden part of history that people don't discuss. But Native Americans were in on it too. A select group of tribes were not all Native Americans, but a select group of tribes, popular tribes.
Yep. So it's just, we got to learn how to unite and be multicultural, because they do teach that class, people, in college, multicultural issues. I advise y'all to take that class. But anyway, you got to be able to understand other races. Prime example, Hispanics and Hispanic wives, Hispanic men and Hispanic wives have a different relationship than Asian husbands and Asian wives. Everybody is treated differently in their household, and everybody do different things in their household. So everybody's different. We can't all be the same. And to go back on the aggression part, that everybody want to say black men are always aggressive, it's a reason why they're aggressive. It's in our blood and it's in our genes, because of all the whippings and the hangings that happened to our ancestors, and to sometimes ourselves. We have to be aggressive. It's in our blood.
It's in our DNA at this point.
And so, in order to break that trend, you got to go back in history to break what you did. And I know a lot of white folks that say, "Man, y'all just got to get over it." Shit.
Hell, you talking about?
I don't know how you supposed to get over something that you never acknowledged that you even was guilty of doing. Your ancestors were guilty. But y'all have never acknowledged that it was a wrongdoing, other than select few people. And I applaud those select few people. But there are still people out there that think slavery was not wrong. It was a business decision. Excuse me?
Kanye West.
But
we're not going to do that right now.
No, we're not going there, because that boy lost all respect from me when he said Harriet Tubman didn't do nothing for the slaves. I was like, what?
Right. But it's definitely one of those, and you hinted at something there while you was speaking, and you said acknowledgement of slavery and the things that have happened there throughout. And during this as well, this has been one of those questions that I've asked people too. Is what does slavery reparations? What does that look like? What does that look like to you? Like, what exactly is that? Like, what?
Man, I would settle for. Let's see.
There was a gentleman, and I'll let you go ahead.
Give me my land. Give me my land, and grant me $1,000 extra a month for reparations. I'm good for the rest of my life, and I'll accept that. All black folks should get at least $1,000 stipend every month, just for
until death, until death, or until until death, because being a citizen of America, like, you have to get your reparations and you have to get your Social Security. So get your Social Security and you get your due, and you get your land that you live freely on, and it goes from there. There was a gentleman, I believe he may be on the board for BET, and he presented something. It was along the lines of, I think every black woman and man would receive, I think it was like 200,000. I think it was like 200,000 or 300,000 up front, and then from that point it was along the lines of what you were saying. He said something like like an additional $2,000 every quarter or every other month. It was something along those lines like that, on top of land, property, things of that nature.
Or,
of course,
or they could do it easy. Well, it's not enough, but hey, I'm just thinking to myself, even if they give us, like, you know, an acre of land to each black person, and $400 a week for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
That's for 400 years of bondage and slavery.
That's a good point. And
so that's the way I would handle it.
Yeah. And we already hinted at defunding the police earlier, and defunding the police, or police departments altogether, and you shuffle that money around. You shuffle that money around into different places like education. You shuffle that money around into reparations. You shuffle that money around into fixing public transit. You shuffle that money around into housing. You shuffle that money around into housing for the less fortunate. And even fixing your local donation places like Salvation Army, Goodwill, Habitat for Humanity, if you have one in your community or your area. Just things like that. Like, that's what defunding the police means to me. And that money definitely goes into education for the youth, not just for sports. And please don't think that I'm just meaning just that, but just the education needs a whole reform, just like the police needs a whole reform, and the justice system overall too. And earlier, you hinted at Future 106 Radio and Chico's Dose of Reality. Give us the background. How did Chico's Dose of Reality come about, and was it just how did it come about, and how did Future 106 come about?
First and foremost, it's not just me. It was a collective group of people. Shout out to Spade. Shout out to Kim, the true lady. Shout out to Janae. Shout out to TJ. Shout out to Jay Rich. He helped us out a lot.
Yes, Lord.
Also, shout out to I know I can't believe I'm saying this. Shout out to Ken. And shout out to DJ Prestige. Who else was part of it? Shout out to Juicy. It was a collective group that came together and decided, you know what, we're gonna do this. We're gonna be the first black online radio station in Sinlaw. I said, okay, cool. And real big shout out to my girl Kim. She and I became friends prior to Chico Dose Reality and Future 106. She helped out with campaigns and stuff like that. And our family is big in politics, so I met her through that. And through that, you know, she asked me, you know, you seem like you interested in something. I said, yeah, I'm interested in this was my exact terminology. I want to be the next Steve Harvey.
No, it's fair.
But I said I want to do a spin-off off of a mixture of Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley, and have a talk show and talk about dating, talk about politics, talk about social issues and cultural issues. And she was like, cool, come by such. I want you to meet somebody and we'll talk about it. I said, cool. So met with her, Ken and Spade, you want to do, how you see it. So I see it like this. You're like, cool. When you want to start? I said, well, what?
Yeah.
When you want to start? I said, shit, we can start tonight. So that night, we got with Fiverr, we got with different companies that can come up with logos, and I got my logo. I did a promo video, whatnot, and that's how that got started back in 2016. And the online radio station was right next to both Kim and I's podcast, and it just went up. And all the local artists around town wanted to have a venue or a outlet to get their music out and to get their artistic word out. So that's how we were able to come about with that idea, because it was a need. It was a need and it was a desire, and it just prospered. It banged. And
still going.
And still going. And still, Chico Dos Reales has went from 200 viewers to 500 viewers to 800 viewers to now I'm listened by, I think I'm at almost 1,100 followers right now.
There you go.
And still climbing, and still wanting more. So it's just, it's a need to have a outlet for reality talk, not sugar-coated, not
just the regular cookie cutter, just
not edited. That's what I'm about to say. Nothing edited about those realities.
No.
Nothing edited about a true lady. Catch a T to the true lady. It's nothing edited with Future 106. Everything that we have said on air or on the podcast or on our own terms, on platforms, it's straight from us. It's straight from the heart. It's straight from our opinion, which comes with your amendment, freedom of speech. So and a lot of people that come on the show be like, man, I can say this. Man, you can say what the hell you want to say, shit.
Whatever. Y'all giving me the privilege to be there countless times, whether if we were actually doing a show or either if I was just in town or just whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all, it's, ladies and gentlemen, like, it's definitely one of those experiences that you should tune into. You should listen, across the board.
It's to the point where, you know, people used to just, well, before COVID, people used to come by and just sit in there and just listen and
drink and talk.
And we just talk and be talking about real stuff, but, you know, cracking jokes at the same time. But, you know, it's just you got to get the reality of the community a voice to say something. And that's what it's for. That's what both platforms are for. Kim normally does, you know, celebrity news and she does dating topics, relationships, and talk about new music. She big on new releases.
Yeah, she on it.
I'm not so big on new releases now, unless I like that shit.
Hey. And you know what I'm saying? So it was, I really do enjoy how the whole operation has grown. And just being in there from how it looked on day one to the next time I came back and then it looked different. And then another time I came back and it looked different. And you definitely see the growth in the entire operation, and not just on your show, but Kim's show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's been developments all across the board, and and I know that that's come with challenges in between, and the space is needed, like you say, because it's everyone's music or everyone's wording, and it's not it's hard to get like radio play on anything nowadays, and
it's hard to get radio play and legally doing it.
Yeah.
Because you got some DJs that are doing illegal stuff and charging for people to get radio play, and they're not supposed to charge for radio play.
Yeah.
So it's just, that's just a little quick snippet for everybody. We don't charge to play your record. We charge to promote it and to put it out on all social medias for you. So we're not getting you to pay us to play your record. We're getting you to pay us to promote it, to push it, to tell people about your record, to tell people about what you're doing and whatnot. So that's what you pay us for. So basically, we're a radio station that does promotion.
Yeah. No, it's all true. It's all true.
So that's basically what we do on a normal basis. And what was cool about it, and I'm not sure if you caught on how the system was working. Down the hall is a radio producer, music producer, I mean. And whenever they finish a record, it was an easy access to get it, already in rotation by just walking down the hall. And that's all it was. It was a transaction between two black business owners and pushing each other.
Solid man.
And now we got another music producer in there, Area 61. Shout out JB, J Scales. But now it's the same flow basically. As soon as they finish the music, they come down, do an interview, we put it in rotation. Or if it's not rotation, we do an interview, put it on our fan page, and people can see and hear the song.
And they get that feedback damn near instantly.
Yeah, and they do.
Yeah.
I got a lot of people in New Mexico and different places that say they heard some of the local music out here, and they were like, "Man, I like him. He fire." Yeah. And it's just, these brothers, some of them have work ethic. Some of them need to work on their work ethic. But the ones that are pushing and are putting out work, I'm shoot out some names. Holly Two Time, you got Groove, you got Bars, you got J Will Special, you got DZ2 Exclusive, you got it's so many that I mess with. You got J Mac, you got different local artists here that, which is hard, and I'm gonna say this.
Speak on it. Come on.
I know you're gonna agree with me. It's hard to sell. It's hard to sell to your own people.
Yep.
And that's the downfall of being here. And you have to put yourself out there in different venues, different states, or different cities, and get your stuff out. And it's only a select few that do that. Shout out to AJ Felton. He does that. He lives in Alabama, but he's from Ellie. But he come here and record. He can easily record in Alabama.
Yep, every time.
DZ records his own stuff now. He's learned how to record his own stuff. So it's ways to do it. You just gotta have that work ethic. And these people are on Tidal. They have their music on Tidal. They have their music on Spotify. They got their music on Apple. They got their music on. It's people that y'all can listen to, that y'all can just be like, okay, let me check them out. I heard Chico say this dude here is cool. Man, I'm telling you, y'all gonna thank me in the morning, because every last one of them, I can tell you right now, every last one of them can go. And if you don't believe me, look them up. It's so much talent here, and it's just like people, like they did a showcase at a spot, and you know, you had Billy Brasco, the lead, and Maine, the lead entertainers. But before them, they had all these locals that I'm talking about, you know, opened up for them. Yeah, Jasmine Nye, that's a female rapper from Elliott. You got Keys, that girl can go. I'm telling y'all. She on a lot of J Will's stuff. She on a lot of groove stuff. Singing and rapping. She can sing and rap. So it's just a lot of talent here, and that's why Future 106 was so prosperous, you know, because it was a need and a want, and they used it to the best of their ability, and still are. And still asking Kim, I need you to do this, da. Chico, push this for me, yada. It's just different stuff. You just gotta listen to it, man. I be sending you stuff as soon as they send me.
Yeah,
so you can listen to it.
You definitely forwarding me music before, for real. And another thing that I do like about what y'all do as well, you know what I'm saying, not only is it just a facility, you know what I'm saying, where people come kick it, but y'all also have thrown a festival before, the Culture Fest. And speak on Culture Fest a little bit.
Culture Fest is through a nonprofit organization that was created by a True Lady and a guy named James and a whole bunch of other folks. Jake Rich was part of that group too. Feature 106 was a sponsor to that group. It's basically AES creatives that decided to come together to do a nonprofit with all the creative minds of the St. area. It don't necessarily have to be from Elliott. You can be from Pineville, Tioga, Marksville, yada yada, anywhere that's in the central Louisiana area, and basically give back to the community, give back to the kids. Culture Fest was all about the children. Given, I think the first year they gave out 50, no, not 50, maybe 100 book bags. The first year, and not one book bag was left behind. The next following year, they upped it. They did 500 book bags. Come on, not one book bag was left behind.
That's what's really gangster. That's what's gangster, taking care of your community like that.
And while they doing all these things, there's a number of black vendors. And I'm gonna say this: black vendors, black owners out there. You have black owners of food trucks. You got ice cream trucks owned by black folks. You had what's the other vendor that was out there? Snow cone. vendor by blacks. And while out there, you had Greeks. The last time they did a yard display, like at HBCU. They had all with all the letters lit up. So, and while everybody is out there, it's like a cookout basically. But while you're at the cookout, you got a concert with all local rappers and singers that wanted to participate, and some of them had to audition. I ain't gonna lie, some of them had to audition because you ain't just go up there and rap
just do anything.
Right. Just do anything. But yeah, you had to submit your music. If your music got picked by the committee, then you in rotation. Yeah. But the other thing is, this last year, D1 came and rapped out of New Orleans. So he came out and he like, man, he appreciate everybody that was out there. And there was a lot of people out there for, now I ain't gonna lie, it be hot as shit out there. That's deep in summertime weather, and shout out to True Later, but damn it, Kim, it was hot.
We gotta do something. We gotta move that to the fall. Let's do something, baby. Let's do something.
No, let's do it at night.
Right. Yeah.
Let's start at 6.
Yeah, that Louisiana heat don't play. I promise it don't play. Lord.
But yeah, we gave it, and we also gave out free food. Like, we cooked burgers and hot dogs and gave it out to people that just come walk off on the street, I guess. It didn't matter who was there. But as long as everybody had a good time and everybody spoke about a good time. The other thing that they also did was a political forum done by nothing but local artists and black folks. And, AEX is not just for black people. And I want white people to join too. But,
right. No, it's true. It's the truth.
So it's good to see it. And the Culture Fest has been a success, ever since they started it. And they always try to do something bigger and better. Cause before COVID, they had so many sponsors already, for the new Culture Fest that they was going to do. And I still think they might do a virtual one. I'm not sure. They were going to give out, a couple of laptops. So it has become bigger than what people think. And their goal is to have this as a big festival for everybody to come to. And that's what it's for. It's for the community. It's a free festival. You ain't got to pay for it yet. I'm not going to say they're not going to charge.
Yeah, right. It's an evolution. Y'all know. It's an evolution.
But right now, it's free to the public. All you got to do is just come.
Pull up, and you good.
And if it's so hot, you can park so close that you can sit in your car and get AC and listen to a concert.
Yeah, for real.
But they also was going to have a movie showing, this year, a drive-up movie theater. So it's just different stuff that they was going to do. So Culture Fest is still in effect, just not face-to-face this year.
Yeah, just due to the circumstances, but I definitely do believe that Culture Fest will be back in real life. You know what I mean? And it's just beautiful what you guys are able to, you guys and women are able to do with home. You know what I'm saying? Because home now, they do not give. First of all, there's not many places where people can perform at home.
Mm-hmm.
One, two, the club or social life, it isn't as vibrant as it used to be, and I use the word vibrant very carefully there. So it's not what it used to be, And so it's just it's great that you guys give a chance to give a platform, not just at the radio station, but in real life too, because it's nothing like that real life reaction to your music, your work, your art, your blood, your sweat, your tears, your late nights up, everything in between. And speaking of just like community work and things like that, do you guys have anything that you all are planning, just like kind of maybe like with Kappa League or anything kind of like connecting those dots or anything?
Man, as of right now, because of COVID and all that stuff that's going on, Kappa League and Kappa basketball has been on hold. We, for the Kappas here, we are upset about it, but at the same time we understand,
for the greater good.
For the greater good, because if people don't know, most Greeks meet every month and to discuss different stuff that they want to bring to the community and do for kids or do for the elderly or whatnot. But we have not been able to do those things because of COVID. So a lot of stuff has been on hold and sheltered.
Yeah.
But best believe that Kappa basketball will be back. Hopefully in the spring. And it's just a wait patiently situation right now. And a lot of people are getting answered because a lot of old heads are ready to do some stuff, but are ready. Let me rephrase. Not ready to do some stuff. Not ready to do some stuff. But tell us what we need to be doing, and we can't do nothing right now. So it's just a sit and wait situation, and I hate that for the kids because I really was hoping that Kappa League would be up and going, because we were plotting to revamp it and do it a pilot in the spring, this past spring. But because of COVID and other things that transpired, we had to put that on hold again. So
yeah, put them on ice.
But it is definitely on our agenda to get this back up and going because young black men around here need some type of guidance.
Yes, Lord.
Because it is entirely too many. What's the word I'm looking for? Messy little ass youngsters that don't know how to fight, but they know how to pick up a gun and start shooting.
Them young boys are slaying that iron before they, take their lick.
Yeah, they can't take the lick. They can't take a loss. That's the big honest truth. They are scared to take a loss, take a L in here. We all know if you lose, everybody gonna rag you for about a week about your loss, and some people can't take that.
Yeah.
But if you lose, you lose. like Pops used to say,
you win some,
and you lose some, but you live to fight another day.
Fight another day. That's just that G shit right there that people don't understand. Well, the young ones they don't understand it because they see they emulate what they see, and everything that they see ain't really G. So and I'm there's things that and you and me we've talked about this before, and there's certain things that we're both working on to change that back at the spot, but we're going to get to that. We're going to get to those things in time. And so that really just kind of led me into just for those that do not know, like what are the challenges that our city faces? The city faces as far as like, and then just, well, not even just because we could go a whole another 2 hours about that, but just you know what I'm saying. But and it's hard to get people engaged too. That's another thing. A lot of people say that they want things to do and things of that nature at home, but then whenever those opportunities are presented, a lot of people do not take advantage of those things that come about.
And that goes back to what I was saying. There's a lot of people here that like to be a chief, but don't want to do the chief work ethic. But you got a lot of Indians that can help the chief if the Indians are willing to not just, the word I'm looking for is, jealousy has always been a black community problem.
It's always plagued us.
They envy too much to the point where they become jealous, or I wouldn't do it that way, I'll do it this way. Then how about you give the ideal, get a group of people together and present that ideal and present how you can accomplish that ideal, and maybe the chief will listen. But until you are able to present that you have a plan, you have dialogued a plan, you have outlined a plan, and you showed examples how you can reach that plan, shut your mouth.
Yeah, thanks.
You got to have a plan. Like it's just like a bank. You can't go in the bank and say, I want a loan. I want a loan for a small business loan because I want to open a business. They're going to want to see your business plan, your business budget, and interview you and check your background to see if you pay back any of your debt.
Yep.
So it is not easy. You got to show a God-given work ethic on trying to meet a goal, and that's where we very, very lack at. We talk a good game, we talk a great game, but nobody has come to the game with a game plan.
Yeah, where's your game plan? And I understand that you want action, but what is your game plan?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
So until you have a game plan, shut your mouth.
Yeah. That's just the truth.
It's the truth. It's the hard truth, but hey, it's the truth.
Some people need to hear the truth though, and that's another thing too. And I will say this about home, and a lot of people don't like to support the wave first. A lot of people like to sit back and you can call it hate, you can call it jealousy, you could call it envy, you can insert whatever word you want. But a lot of people like to wait until something is hot and then I was down day one. You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, for those that are down and whatever it is going on, salute. Salute. And you know what I'm saying? And it's for the people that really do support and that really are down with things, you know what I'm saying? Y'all gotta call people on that bullshit too. You know what I'm saying?
You got to. You gotta call them on their bull. And that's what I give B.O. and all these young cats out here props on getting the public and the black community into politics and into voting and into wanting a change and a difference in their city. But sometimes, and I'm not saying they are, sometimes we can put our foot in our own mouth.
Yep.
And sometimes we get, sometimes we win, sometimes we lose. But fact of the matter is, you tried, and you're giving people a try. So now it's time to take that try and change it into accountability to vote for that person again. And they speaking on it. You got to get in that office. When you get in the office, your constituents expect you to do what's best for the community and what's best for them. If you have not done that, then that constituents or those constituents can vote them out. That's your power of voting. That's why a lot of people are saying go out and vote. And just a little quick little snippet idea for everybody. I want everybody to vote, presidential and everything, like whatnot. Yeah, let's get the Orange Man out of there. But
please.
But what really, and a lot of people are confused, and I want them to be unconfused.
Talk to them.
Federal government is good. Okay, vote for your federal representatives, your federal senators, and your president. That's wonderful.
Yeah.
But federal money don't always come to the city.
To your front door.
To your front door. What really comes to your front door is city and state rules and regulations and policies. So, and that's what affects your economy and your community. So, when you vote for president and vote for the federal senators and stuff like that, that's cool. But I need you to vote locally. I need you to vote for your local councilmen, your local mayors, your regional governors, regional state representatives,
police
and
chiefs, all that,
and police chiefs. Well, police chief is appointed. You want to vote for your sheriffs.
Yeah, your sheriffs. That's my apologies.
Sheriffs and your city marshals.
All that.
Because those are the ones that's going to affect your community, not the federal people. It's
not
the city. Yeah, not who you see on TV. It's the ones that's behind the screens that's doing the work.
Your locals matter.
Your local government.
Your locals matter, man. Your locals will change the entire ship. I've seen how
what people fail to realize and fail to understand is that your city government is what brings franchises here.
Mm-hmm.
Or not bring it here, better yet, have bids to bring it here and have conversations on the opportunity to have it here. And I want people to understand, Alexandria was not supposed to be a small city.
No, not ever. If you look at where Alexandria is on the map, boy, y'all better put two and two together.
We are the hub of Louisiana.
The original hub city.
We are the hub city. Also, I want other people to realize your city councilmen are the ones that bring businesses here. Like Alexandria. I know a lot of people don't know this, but the BMW factory that's in Alabama and in Mississippi was supposed to be in Alexandria.
Yeah.
They lost the bid because they couldn't come to a decision. They always want to argue. And what this person gonna do for me if I do this for him? It's not all about that.
That's the greater good of the community.
That factory would have brought 200 to 400 jobs.
Just like we were supposed to have the casino boat.
Supposed to have a casino boat. And I just found out this. I don't know how true it is. But, Universal Studios was supposed to be in Pineville.
Wow.
Back when it was, you probably, I don't even know if you was born then, when Alexandria was known as Alexandria / Pineville, Louisiana. it was together. It was supposed to be a together thing, and it's just we lose bids because they can't. You got too many chiefs and not enough Indians, and you need a chief to just get you across that finish line. But you got to let the chief lead, and if you let the chief lead, maybe he can lead you to the water.
It's the crawfish effect.
Yep, exactly.
If y'all don't know what that is, go ahead and go look it up. It's the crawfish effect, and y'all just go check that out. You know what I'm saying? And you're definitely right, man. You're definitely right. And our city has opportunity, major opportunity, and it's all there. It's all there. There are creative minds in that city. There are creative minds that hail from that city. But you know what I'm saying? And I say all that, and Chico said all that to say, and I say the same thing. You know, you never hurting nobody whenever you supporting somebody. You know what I'm saying? No matter if that's a retweet, a share, a comment, you bigging up somebody, you showing them genuine love. You know what I'm saying? Like that's never gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying? That only makes you better as a person. You give what you get. And if you're always walking around talking down on people, hey, that speaks a lot about your soul. But for the people that are really out here showing love, genuine love, amongst many platforms, you know, we salute those people, and trust me, we see those people. We see you. You know what I'm saying? And for people, and we appreciate you from the bottom of my heart. I promise I do. And you know, so going into you did hint about politics and voting, and you know what I'm saying, we definitely do have a huge we definitely have some major things to vote on coming up here, and it's going to be here sooner than you know. It's as I look down, it's
November 3rd.
Yeah,
November 3rd
coming up. And for all of you who are old enough to vote, and if you voted in that was 2016, if memory serves correct, if you have any type of decency in your heart, and the day 45 won the election, that day and the following day, I can't speak for anybody else, but I can speak for myself, and I will just speak for myself here. If you didn't feel a weight on you, if you didn't feel like you lost a fight that day or those couple days, if you had an opportunity to make a difference and you did not make a difference, please make a difference this time around. Please make a difference this time around, because we see the aftershocks of that election today. So,
and just a quick side note.
Sure.
If you are not on papers for parole or probation, you have the right to reapply for your right to vote.
Yes.
I say that again. If you're not on papers, you can vote again. You just have to reapply and get approved. And that's all you got to do.
Yeah.
And you can practice voting. You can rock the vote, what they used to say. But you have to know the laws. And the law is, if you're not on papers and you paid all your fees, you can vote again.
Yes, Lord.
So
we have opportunities. We definitely have opportunities, and false information is spread all the time. So please, please, please take it upon yourselves, people. We're in the year 2020. We have all the information that we need it's in our hand. It's in our pocket. It's on our nightstand. You know what I'm saying? You walk around with all the information in the world right there in your phone. Please, please, please look into voting. Encourage your friends. Encourage your family. Encourage your coworkers. Encourage the young ones. You know what I'm saying? And encourage everybody to get out there, go vote, to make a difference in our country, because we got some things that we need to change. You know what I'm saying? As the black community, we got our agenda, and for the greater of society. You know what I'm saying? We definitely have work to do. So, cause I'll go ahead, you know what I'm saying? I'll go ahead and let you get some of them last words in now, as we can about to go ahead and wrap up the show here. And I definitely just want to say I appreciate you for, you know, us, we can do this for hours and hours and hours on end. And this is nothing like scripted, you know what I'm saying? Like, these are things that we
just talking about.
We just talk about. Like, this is just regular conversation for us. And so, go ahead, Chico, what you got?
Well, I want to thank you for inviting me to be on the show. I'm very privileged and honored, my brother.
Right on.
But
anytime.
Also tune in to Chico's Dose Reality on Thursdays. Probably won't be this Thursday, but I will put a promo out this week on announcing the next show, which will probably more than likely be next Thursday. Normally I'm on at 8:30 if we having difficulties. So tune in. We talk about an array of things about relationship, dating, marriage, sex, politics, again, cultural issues and different stuff that, you know, people misinterpret about each other. So you can follow me on Facebook. I have a fan page. It's called Chico's Dose of Reality Podcast Show. You can also find me on Twitter at Chico DOR12. And trust and believe, it's hilarious, but it's real. Also tune in to True Lady, Catch a Teeth podcast, also on Facebook. She's also on Twitter and on YouTube and on SoundCloud. And I think that's it. But tune in to her on Wednesdays at 8. Again, she talks about celebrity news, new releases of albums, how we feel about it, relationship topics, men and women, differences. Oh yeah, on Chico's Dose of Reality, we do a battle of the sexes, which has always been a go-to for me, because it's always hilarious. It's always funny to see men and women battle because they want to get their point across. But I used to do a live show. Because of COVID, I couldn't do a damn live show. COVID messed up a lot. I just want people to know that. But I was gonna do a live podcast show with Battle of Sexes just to put one out, but I think I'm gonna wait until everything's open and clear and do a live show. But tune in to us, Future 106. Got a fan page. Just look it up. You'll see all our pictures, all our biographies, and stuff that we discuss amongst ourselves about, you know, rappers and entertainers. So
yeah, I'm talking about they got skits, y'all. They got all kind of stuff like they have all kind of stuff going on. And it's creative people, it's genuine people, it's honest people. Who they are and who they are, they're just real people from the front door. Like, from the front door, they welcome you with open arms. You know what I'm saying? They show love to who love. You know what I'm saying? And it's just,
man, it's so humbling when the door is open. When people just come up to me like, man, I listened to you last night, man, and just be like, damn, thank you.
Yeah.
Can I take a picture with you? Take a picture with you? Nigga, I'm just Chico. I'm a local dude.
I'm
Can be
just a
feeling the
local
same way
citizen.
too. Like, take a picture. Okay.
I am a local citizen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just it. You know what I mean?
I'm just me. If God bless me to make it to that point, I'm still gonna be me. I don't care how much money I got. Right. I'm still gonna come to the hood, be like, "What's up, Negroes?"
Yeah.
So
we're still right down in the same spot.
So I ain't changing no cars. Might add a car.
Yeah.
But hey, we just people, man, and that's what people gotta realize. You know, celebrities make mistakes. You know, they people. And also, quick side note, if you feel like you need to talk to somebody, man, reach out and go get some counsel, man.
Go get some counsel.
It's nothing wrong with it. It's a natural situation where you just talk. You just talk it out. So don't be shamed. It's a lot of people that be shamed to go do it. Hell, a lot of us them peed and boo booed in the damn pool before. You wasn't too damn ashamed to do that.
Some of y'all be adults doing that. Y'all are sick. I want y'all to know that.
But I bet y'all won't pee in that damn pool right now because it's gonna show up green.
It's gonna come back a different way. Yeah, most definitely. But Chico, I definitely thank you for, coming through, carving out time for the boy. Once again, this is the Perspective Podcast, episode 7 with Counselor Chico. I am your host, Mardy Lee, aka Marty Manziel. We're gonna put those links down there for Future 106, Chico's Dose of Reality. We'll put all those links down there, and man, y'all come through, come check us out. Check out Chico on SoundCloud. Check out the whole Future 106 staff. Tune in, tap in, listen, give them a try, give those artists a listen. And like we always say at the end of the show, man, I thank y'all. I thank y'all for just tuning in, tapping in. Chico, I thank you again. Thank you, family that's going to tune in and listen. Thank you, friends that's going to tune in and listen. Y'all like this, share this, post this. Y'all go crazy with it. And like I